What happens when a father turns into a monster? Two innocent children tortured by the one person who should have protected them. Beaten, burned, forced to eat their own waste, and in the end, one of them got her head separated from her body. How does someone sink to such brutality? This story packed with horrifying, heart-wrenching details. So if you can't handle that, maybe skip this video. Before we start, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And now, grab your favorite drink and let's dive into our story. Back in 2012 in Dubai, UAE, there lived a man named Hamad, a local Emirati. He married a woman named Salma, and they had two beautiful daughters, Mira and Wadima. On the surface, their life seemed normal, but behind closed doors, a nightmare. Over time, troubles raised. Hamad spiraled into a dark world, a world of drugs and alcohol, losing control of himself. He began abusing his wife and daughters, as if it was part of his daily routine. Salma, desperate to protect her dignity and her girls, finally snapped. Enough! I can't take this anymore. Divorce is the only way. But little did she know what awaited her. After the divorce, Salma thought she turned a new page, but life had something darker in store. Years passed and the girls lived peacefully with their mom, far from the terror of the past. Yet, Hamad watched from the shadows. He couldn't stand them being away from him. Deep down, he craved revenge. He wanted to crush Salma's newfound persona by ripping the girls back into his grip. Then came the day Hamad decided nothing would stop him. He hatched a plan to take his daughters at any cost, even if it meant dragging them to hell with him. After a grueling legal battle, Hamad won custody, and so began the most horrifying chapter of Mira and Wadima's lives. This is where the real terror started. Hamad got what he wanted, but it wasn't enough. His daughters were now trapped in a fresh nightmare, stripped of the safety their mother provided. But was this just revenge, or was there something even darker driving him? What awaited these girls in the hands of a father who'd stop at nothing? Let's take a moment to talk about Hamad's real life. Hamad wasn't what he seemed on the surface. His life was filled with chaos and darkness. He had a criminal record and was known for illicit relationships. He lived with his girlfriend Al-Onud in a relationship built on one thing: living without legal ties, no marriage, no respect for religion or law. He constantly abused drugs and drowned himself in alcohol, blowing all his money on these poisons. Work, responsibilities, his daughters, none of it mattered. As for Mira and Wadima, their lives hung by thread. When Hamad took the girls from Salma, she tried to contact him to check on them, but all her attempts failed. Hamad had changed his phone number and address, leaving Salma clueless about her daughter's whereabouts. She felt powerless, unsure what to do. She wanted reassurance about their well-being, but every path to them was sealed. 6 months passed and her heart was breaking. During this period, Salma was a wreck, constantly on edge. She tried calling everyone connected to Hamad, even his family, but hit dead ends. Every inquiry about her girls fizzled into vague, empty replies. Nothing eased her panic. In the middle of this nightmare, only one person understood the girls' suffering: their uncle. He adored them. Seeing them suffer broke him, but he was stuck, helpless, watching from the sidelines. Then came the tipping point. On that day, the uncle decided to call Hamad himself to check on the girls. He knew Hamad had a long history of trouble with the police and braced himself for hostility. And Al-Onud, or his girlfriend, answered. Her cold reply stunned him. Hamad's in jail. I don't know anything about him. The uncle knew jail was no stranger to Hamad, but he never imagined things had spiraled this far. When he pressed about the girls, Al-Onud snapped. They are with their mom. She took them, and I haven't heard a thing since. The uncle refused to believe her. His gut screamed she's lying, but his mind reeled. He hung up and raced to Hamad's apartment, dread tightening his chest. What he found was worse than his worst fears. When he arrived at the apartment, Alanud opened the door. He talked to her for a bit and asked for a glass of water. As she turned to fetch it, he slipped inside. Desperate for answers about the girls, he sprinted inside, each step weighting his heart with doubt. The apartment was filthy beyond belief. Trash piled everywhere, reeking of rot. The air felt thick, suffocating. Then he heard it, the voice of a little girl, a faint, bayed whimper. His heart pounded as he followed the sound. Throwing open a door, he froze. There was Mira, just 6 years old, sitting in a wreck of torn, dirty clothes that clung to her body. Neglected, her face bruised, her hands visibly mutilated. She was writhing in pain, crying on the floor, her eyes filled with fear. He thought Mira would find comfort in seeing family, but that wasn't the case. The moment she saw him, she screamed, raw, hysterical cries, as if fearing someone would come and inflict more pain. The sound gutted him. Mira, the little baby, was traumatized. Between sobs, she choked out words that shattered him. They hurt her day and night. They killed my sister Wadima and burned her. The uncle couldn't believe what he heard. He thought the young girl was exaggerating, but the pain in her eyes was tangible. He tore through the apartment and found no trace of Wadima. It dawned on him, there is no time to waste. He quickly called Salma and told her about the girl's horrible situation, immediately asking for help. Then he dialed the police. The situation required urgent intervention. He had no choice but to rush to save the poor child. Mira was taken to the hospital. Alanud was arrested, and Hamid was summoned from prison. After hours of interrogation, the two confessed to what they had done. The truth was harsher than anyone could have imagined. During the investigation, Hamid confessed to everything. In a defeated tone, he admitted, "From the day I got hooked on drugs, I had no idea what was happening to me. I'd clash with everyone for no reason, went to jail multiple times, beat the girls daily, tortured them. I swear to God, I didn't realize what I was doing. We'd pour boiling water on them while they screamed in pain. I found pleasure in torturing them." He continued with chilling words. "One day, I snapped at my daughter Wadima, beat her violently, dragged her across the floor with Alanud while she collapsed, poured boiling water on her, locked her in the bathroom and left her. When I checked later, she wasn't moving, she was dead. We decided to bury her in the desert to avoid scandal or prison." Shamelessly he added, "I'm responsible of everything. My girlfriend had nothing to do with it." But when investigators pressed her, she denied involvement. "I wasn't part of it, I just watched him torture them. I was too scared of him to help." Forensic teams went to Wadima's burial site. As they dug, they uncovered something horrific. The child's head was completely severed from her body. Can you imagine? Wadima's head detached from her tiny frame. What more is there to say? How could a father do this to his own child? The autopsy report was bone-chilling. That revealed Mira had a permanent disability from beatings, including a fracture in her right arm that she endured a long time ago. Both girls suffered every torture imaginable: beating, scalding water, electric shocks, and burns from hot iron. But later details revealed by investigators were much revolting. It was confirmed that the girls were forced to eat their own waste and drink urine out of starvation, only given rotten bread, if any. The brutality is unimaginable. What kind of parent could do this to their children? What heart could stomach witnessing it? These confessions hit like lightning strikes, each detail exposing a shattered human story. How does a child live through such hell? How does a father become such a monster? Yet, the most gut-wrenching part came from Mira, the 6-year-old survivor. Her innocent voice, trembling as she recounted her ordeal, described horrors no human, let alone a child, should ever endure. She told investigators through tears, "We slept on the floor in filthy clothes. We couldn't wash ourselves. They starved us for days while eating right in front of us. If we begged for food, they'd beat us. Sometimes, after finishing their meals, they'd throw us rotten scraps. I'd hide them for my sister, but when they caught me, they'd punish me, pour boiled water on me, or stub out cigarettes on my skin. Then Mira added, eerily calm, "One day, Baba hit me with an iron rod on my head and legs, then threw me into the bathroom." Her voice trembled as she explained.
بابا شو سوى علشان وديمة تموت؟
خلاها في الحمام وكان يضربها في الحمام.
إن بابا حلق شعر وديمة صح؟
بالموس. لا وهي تكسر بالمقص عقب هاي عنود راحت حلقتها بالموس.
ليش عنود حلقتها بالموس؟
بس ما أدري وديمة عند الله اليوم وبابا دفناها هناك في البر وودوها دفنوها مكان ثاني في المقبرة ودفنوا يدي الحين راحت عند الله.
She paused, then continued with a mix of rage and sorrow.
أنا أبغي الشرطة يحرقونا ويدخلونا السجن ويعاقبونا ويضربونهم بابا وعنود مثل ما سووا في اختي اخر شيء راحت عند الله.
Her next words got deeper.
بابا بيروح عند الله ما بيدخلونهم الجنة بيدخلونهم النار.
As she recounted their daily horrors, Mira said with a pained voice,
زق وبول لكننا نبغي ناكل يرعاني واذا عندهم خبز خربان يعطونا وديمة عند الله اليوم وبابا دفناها هناك في البر وودوها دفنوها مكان ثاني في المقبرة ودفنوا يدي الحين راحت عند الله.
Her words were heartbreaking. They tore open the doors to the nightmare and trauma these girls endured. A childhood ruled by a savage father and a woman who'd sold her humanity. As young Mira received critical care under the guardianship of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who vowed to fund her treatment, education, and recovery. A flicker of hope returned to this innocent child after all she went through. During his hospital visit, Sheikh Mohammed told her mother, "Consider Mira my daughter now. She's ours, not yours. We will handle everything." Mira's mother Salma unraveled her own suffering with deep agony. "I married Hamed too young, defied my family to be with him. We lived simply, but after a while his family started treating me like a servant. I did everything they asked, yet Hamed beat me daily. His family poisoned him against me. He believed their lies and kept hitting me. They sold my gold, took everything, cut me off from my own family. In the end, I asked for divorce, but their condition was that I give up custody of the girls. I agreed, but only if I could see them weekly. They accepted, but later, custody returned to me when Hamed kept going to jail. When he got out last time, he took my girls by force." The bombshell came when Salma revealed that her husband's girlfriend, Alanud, was a childhood friend who introduced her to Hamed. Alanud struggled after her father's death, drifting between relatives' homes. What's worse is that Alanud seduced Hamed after taking his number, thus starting a deeply treacherous relationship right under the family's roof. In a final twist, Hamed's own relative revealed that they demanded his execution for what he did to his daughter and for torturing Mira. Alanud, his accomplice, got life in prison. This case remained one of the most depraved in memory. A father stripped of all humanity, unjustified brutality towards his own baby girls, and the irreversible damage he inflicted on them. What could ever explain such cruelty? How does a society allow someone to commit these atrocities and continue inflicting pain on innocent children? The questions demand answers. Do you think that judicial punishment's enough for those who commit such crimes? How can we support victims of domestic violence in our communities? Do you think that society needs stricter awareness campaigns and family monitoring to protect children? Well, that's all I've got for today. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. That's the best way to show your support and keep me going. Catch you in the next one.